Okay, I'm Barney Panofsky, and I'm here to do Barney's version. Um, the reason that I'm doing Barney's version is because Barney's got his own viewpoint, and Barney usually goes and hangs out in a hotel bar in Montreal, Quebec. In this hotel bar, he orders a double scotch. He has one ice cube, and Barney brings in cigars. In the old days, Barney would sit at the bar and smoke his cigar, blow smoke into his glass of scotch, and think. These days, you can't smoke cigars in the bar, so when Barney wants to have a cigar, he finishes his drink. Sometimes he just takes the coaster that the drink is sitting on, puts it on top of the drink, nods at the bartender and shows them, I've got a cigar here, this is my cigar. Goes like this, and then just goes, I'm just going for a smoke. And then he goes outside, out the door and around the corner to the smoking area where he has some smoke. When he's done, well, sometimes there's people in the smoking area. And it being Montreal, sometimes the people have got a joint or something. Barney is not known to smoke anything other than cigars, but the people around him smoke whatever they got, and they chit chat. And there's always something new that goes on with the chit chat. A lot of times it's very dull and boring, but every once in a while, once every, I don't know, 9 months, Barney meets somebody who's stunningly interesting. I'm not one of the people that Barney finds interesting, and I'm never going to be able to tell you that um, I'm one of the people that are pretty much dime a dozen. The dime a dozen people are pretty much dime a dozen. And oh, by the way, um, dime a dozen people tend to watch dime a dozen Instagram TV. But for Barney, he would rather the company of his own thoughts, sitting at the bar, than watch dime a dozen Instagram TV. Barney doesn't always go to the same hotel bar. Montreal's a big city and there's plenty of places. Barney's been around and he, knows where the hot spots are on which night of the week. And he pretty much likes to go. And he usually just does the rounds. Barney knows that smoking cigars is not really the best thing to do. Barney knows that drinking alcohol is not the best thing to do. So, when he's having his double scotch, he quits after one, and then he has club soda. When it comes to his cigar, um, he doesn't really even smoke the cigars anymore. He brings them, and secretly he prefers marijuana. So he brings his cigars, and he's used to buy great, big, huge ones, and now he buys little, small Romeo and Julieta brand. They're about the size of a cigarette, and he doesn't always smoke them. Sometimes he trades them. If someone's got a regular cigarette or a joint, sometimes he'll trade. Just because, but he likes to have something to trade. Barney likes Montreal. Name like Panofsky, it sounds Polish, but actually he's Jewish. And he learned English when he was young. He does know French, but if he's sitting at the bar, 60% of the time he's thinking in English. The rest of the time he's not thinking. Does he ever think in French? One time Barney was dating a French woman, and he found it went better if he attempted to speak French to his French girlfriend, at least for the first minute or two. And she spoke better English than he does. So, but it was the way to start the conversation. He would start off in French, and after a couple of minutes, then the conversation would flip into English. Was he thinking in French for 2 minutes? He was thinking in English, but then when he opened his mouth, it came out in French. Why did he never really learn to think in French? It's because he learned English first. If you talk to someone who's fluently bilingual, they can think in English and in French. They can do both ways. But I knew someone who was French, from a French family and a French community, and they went to school with me. I actually knew two people like this. Two people who were totally from a French culture. And both of them went to English schools and hung out with English people. They were French thinking and speaking, and then they immersed themselves in English. It took a while, but both of them changed and started thinking in English. One of these guys went back to a French community, and within about a year of going back into French, started thinking again in French and couldn't speak English anymore. But when he was immersed in the English culture, English people, he was completely fluid in English. He lost his ability to speak English when he went back to a fully French community. In Montreal, everyone can speak. If you're an American and you don't know any French, you can go to Montreal and you'll get along just fine. A lot of Americans go to Montreal. And if you're French, you have no problem getting along. It's not like you're going to run into areas, other than a few Americans that can't speak French, can't speak English. In Switzerland, this is the Swiss flag. In Switzerland, they speak three languages: Italian, German, and as far as I know, it's French. But they're all going to speak English there. Pretty much, if you speak English, you're lucky, because it's pretty much the language that everyone else on the planet learns. If it's not their first language, it's their second language.